Hello.
Greetings. Let's see. See how long it takes people to join us. But in the meantime, how are you doing? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in. I flew from Singapore straight to Madrid. There's this conference, Merge Madrid, which is very institutional. Some banks, financial institutions will be here. As you know, Banco Santander in Brazil is our client and the headquarter here in Spain. So we have meetings with Banco Santander, BBVA, all funds, JP Morgan this week. So we're super excited. Um, Conference starts on Wednesday, but we have some meetings tomorrow, later today and tomorrow. It's the second year we come here, and last year was very, very positive. So we're excited.
Okay, nice. And you mentioned we're hosting our own side event. When, and where is that?
So we're hosting our side event on Wednesday afternoon. It's a kind of dinner and drinks. We're doing this with Utila, which is this wallet as a service infrastructure. Um, Utila is also has a great focus on fintechs, neobanks, financial institutions, and they're getting a super good traction. And their custody will be integrated to a public chain as well, so their clients can tokenize assets on Rails. And we, you know, there's some more news to come, but we're excited. I really like their technology and the way they handle the private keys using MPC, so they have a flexible model. So it's a very institutional class wallet as a service solution.
Nice. And you've just come back from Korea and Singapore. In fact, I know that because I was with you. But tell me a little bit about how that trip went and what was achieved.
Oh man, I love Seoul. I think the city is great. The atmosphere, the crypto community very strong. We had our VIP dinner, where a lot of KOLs joined us. Really, the feeling I have is that we were setting the foundation for our community in South Korea. Our partners there, Musin, did a great job. And fun enough, next day on Saturday, we went to watch a baseball match where we co-sponsored. So also we invited like 20 people. I never been to, I've been to a baseball match in US, but outside of US, never. And it was very, very cool. The atmosphere, people cheering and by the way, it's fun enough. When before going there, I said, "Let me, guys, the ultimate goal for baseball match is the home run, right? And but pay attention because if you blink your eyes and there's a run, you don't see it. What happened? I was talking to Jacob, our CTO for Rails. Distracted, boom! A home run happened and we missed it, and we are laughing because we made this call before, but there were some like nice guys from Musin and some KOLs that joined us. So after that, we flew to Singapore for Token 2049. We had some nice side events. We co-sponsored one with Hack Seasons, where I joined a panel with the CEO of Faros, the CEO of Iota. So um, very complimentary. I think I like to sit down in panels where people think alike and share their vision. And yeah, we managed to share our vision. But to me, the most important one, we were invited to a panel with Cointelegraph Longitude um, event. I share the panel with Stanis, the CEO of Av, with Siran, the CEO of Eigenlayer, the head of business for Unlimited, the CEO of Unlimited, which is one of the largest payment infrastructure that uses crypto, and the head of business development from Yota. So it was really good. I think especially a lot of those players are looking um, to leverage the crypto world and move to TradFi and bring assets on chain, etc. That's the view I had from studies from Av. Av launched what they call Horizon by Av, and Horizon is like designed for institutional adoption, and super cool because you know the speech, my speech and Stanley's were very aligned, and I really respect the guy. Aave has like 40 45 billion dollars TVL now. The protocol, they keep enhancing the versions of the landing pool. And I think the landing pool is very suited to what we're doing. People, but panel with Dan.
Your mic is sticking a little bit at the moment.
Sorry, is it better now?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I think being in a panel with Aave, Eigenlayer, bring us to the same category or to a different level, to the crypto ecosystem. Also, Siran, the CEO of Eigenlayer, we were doing some nice stuff with them. So, especially for on-chain KYC suitability, they have just launched a new product, which suits perfectly to what we're doing. So strengthening these partnerships with key players like Aave, Eigenlayer, and there's some others that we bring. It's very important for our growth. So we're super excited. I think out of it. Also, for those that were in Singapore, we had the vans, the Rails vans, and circulating through the city. Is a party van. People join the vans. I took some rides. It was super cool to see, you know. And I made some like tweets and jokes. Hey, join the ride to TGE. TGE is coming, and even was written on the van. TGE is coming, and I loved our community building images and creating memes online. The one I loved was a van flying over the moon with the BTC, stamp. So we're saying, we're Rails is going to the moon, and I love this that one. I reposted a few times, and yeah, I think this is the atmosphere that I believe we created. So Alex, our co-founder, also joined the panel in Singapore, HSBC, Redstone, which are big financial institutions talking about their journey on tokenization. So um, we had these two angles, right? At the same time, engaging with the crypto community, being in a panel with Stanis, Siran, and also in different panels with like HSBC and Redstone, like big financial institutions, which it's complementary. It's exactly what what is our aim, right? To bring TradFi to DeFi and vice versa. And yeah, that's in a nutshell. There's so much that we met market makers, we met a lot of the KOLs, part of the community. Um, so there's so much that happened, which is difficult to summarize in a few minutes. But rest assured that we're doing as much as we can to not only to build a good product, but also to reflect this into our community, to engage with partners, strong partners. We don't want to announce partnerships just for the sake of announcing. We want to announce partnerships that are relevant, that are meaningful. People will see, oh, I understand why this partnership is in place. It's not for PR, you know. So that's a key message. And again, I think we're very focused on this, bringing this to our community, to accrue value, hopefully to our token in the long run.
Okay, great. And can you let me know how much time you've got? When's your hard stop so I can make sure to make the most of your time now? When do you need to leave us?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here to answer any questions. But if there's no questions, we finish. It's up to you.
I mean,
I
I don't think, honestly, we're going to finish all of them today, but I just wanted to check. Okay,
Yeah.
well, in which case, I've got a list of questions that I took from the replies on the initial post, but we'll also deal with some of the ones live. I don't expect we're going to get through everything today, so we're going to create an FAQ from this and we'll share it afterwards. And again, if you want even more clarification, we'll come back on that. So even if
Yeah,
it's answered,
let's target 30 minutes today, and we always can do another one. There are a lot of things happening. Let's do another one in 2 weeks time. We can give some views, or 2 3 days, whatever.
Mhm.
So
Sure. Well, also I've got you on another AMA tomorrow already with somebody that we haven't announced yet. So you're going to be busy this week either way. So people can still ask questions. I
it's
wouldn't
fine.
rush.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll start with the questions that I took from the Twitter. I guess the first question that's important to ask is about, obviously there was some confusion about a large 700K order on the Republic deal page, and then it looked like we were oversubscribed, but then it disappeared. What happened there?
Yeah, well, we're not familiar with Republic, private sale tooling, and we didn't set up any cap for orders, and we didn't expect also people being able to order everything and without having pre-funded the account. So we're assuming that everyone was KYC, everyone was well known, and it is what it is. But there is this, guy which just booked 700K and there was no limit, and then he canceled the order after, surprisingly or not, that was kind of, so what we did to avoid that, we limited the order to 100K max, and then we it was a surprise because we were not expecting this to happen, of course, because this is the tranche that we want to share with the community. We don't want this level of concentration at the hands of the one single person. For that particular, we conducted VC, investors funds sale last week, which was high net worth. Minimum ticket was $25,000, and in 48 hours we raised $1.5 million. Now we're approaching 2 million. We're super excited because it's a long-term investors. It's people that will hold the token, and we're going to add this information into Republic as well for our community to see. Our aim with the Republic private sale was to really distribute for you. I don't know if everyone is aware, but this tranche is 20% discount from our previous round. So the price is 00176, which relates to a FDV of $176 million. So our last round, the FDV was 220, just to make it very clear. So it's a 20% discount. And the reason we give this discount is because we want to distribute to allow our community to buy the token to a level which we believe is very valuable. So if there's an upside, people will be very happy. So and again, we wouldn't expect this guy to allocate the 700K. That's why now we fix it, and it's moving, right. I think it's already we're approaching 500K. We didn't promote. What happened was, as we had the allow list, 78,000 people on the allow list, we just announced on our sales. We didn't do any email campaign. We're going to start doing this week, today. Also, myself, everyone was traveling. And yeah, we have 78,000 people on the allow list, guys. So we would expect this tranche to, by reminding the people to go pretty quick. So join us there.
Nice one. And I can see a lot of the questions here relate a bit more to customer support issues with Republic. So we can't give you direct responses if you're having problems with KYC or account setup. But if you're having problems, DM the Rails account with your email, and I'll send them in bulk to the Republic team to make sure that it gets escalated and addressed. But when it comes to some of the more nuances in account setup, We can't really help you directly, but feel free to ping them all to the main account, and we'll forward it on. Um, Now on to the next question. So, is the community sale program intended to raise funds or build closer ties with the community?
I think it's both, right? The goal is that those funds that we're raising. Remember, guys, we raised $35 million with led by Framework Ventures and Parafai Capital over the last 3 years. So the goal for this funding is to add more capital pre-TGE, and at the same time allow the community to buy at a cheaper valuation compared to what the investors bought. And again, it's that's why we want to to share what we're building with all of you. And again, part of this funds will be used to TGE. Remember, we are listing in top tier exchange, and we have to pay the fees. And again, it's part of the ecosystem and how it works.
Mm-hmm. And I would add, maybe from a marketing perspective, I want to make sure that we're using this to increase loyalty with our existing community members, but also it's a good means for us to attract new people. So it's doing all three of those things, really. It's raising funds, building closer community ties, and it's helping us acquire more users. And in fact, maybe even another thing is we expect obviously a peak in our reach of messaging. So it's useful as well for us to be able to shout louder about the project. So for us, it does a lot of things. Moving on to the next question. Could you confirm TGE on November? Oh, I haven't been sorry, I haven't been mentioning who asked the question, so I'll start doing that from now where I've got them. So DMID on Twitter asked, could you confirm TGE on November, as you mentioned in docs before? And for the SEX, do you have plans for real tier one exchanges?
Yeah, TGE is gonna happen between third week of October to first second week of November. And reason why we don't have a specific date is because we're finalizing all the onboarding with the exchange. Yes, we are finalized negotiations with all tier one exchanges, Binance, Bybit, Kraken, and so on. Some of them very advanced. So this week we're finishing it. So it's a combination of actions. So the private sale will stay until end of next week or mid next week. Then it finishes. We need 2 weeks for the TG minimum. So you guys all will receive your tokens in your accounts, and then in parallel, we're finalizing the onboarding and negotiation with all the exchanges, and it's doing super well. The level of due diligence by the exchanges are being very, heavy, requesting documentations, etc. So they don't want to list any project anymore, etc. So we've been going through this process. In parallel, we're engaging with market makers. So there's a lot of moving parts. We have some very good announcements to be making in the coming weeks as well in relation to partnerships. We just signed a large contract with the bank. We're gonna do a PR. We're preparing the PR. We're having you know we're working with a central bank into one of the CBDCs we announced as well. So we're waiting the approval from the central bank to do the PR. Is one of the largest in the world, so we're super happy. So there are a lot of news that also will come to help and to create more engagement with our community and partners.
Okay, great. And someone's asking, Duan is asking about token unlock 100% at TGE. I think this relates specifically to the community sale that we're talking about now. So
Yeah, this tranche 750K unlocks 100% at TGE. We will create incentive programs for people not to sell, because if people sell, the price corrects, right? This is the nature of the market. So we would incentivize to capture value on the long run. On the high net worth investors that we sold, part unlocks at TGE, part unlocks 3 months after. Our locks are pretty restrictive, so we created. I think for the ones that read our tokenomics and unlocks, so for our investors and for ourselves, uh, token unlocks. There is a cliff, 1 year cliff. So only 10% of our tokens unlocks in 1 year after TG. Okay, and generally speaking, for most of the projects, it's 25%, etc. So just to make it very clear, for our investors and for ourselves, only 10% of our tokens unlocks 1 year after TG. We're committed for long term. Then 25% monthly pro rata on the second year, then 30% on the third year, and 35% on the fourth year. So our curve of unlocks are very smooth and not impactful. We don't want to create unnecessary sell pressure. And again, I want to hold my tokens because I truly believe that we're gonna add a lot of value for the clients we're bringing, etc. So in the long run, um, for those that don't know, I bought crypto, my first bitcoins in 2014, and then Litecoin, all XRP, all the tokens you would imagine, and um, where I most made money for those for of those tokens I bought like right after TG, and I stayed years, and the accrual in value was fantastic. So that's what I believe. And again, we're bringing real business on chain, with this large financial institution. So I would expect this to accrue value. We'll see.
Okay, and this next question I think probably is more for me, so I'll answer this one. How will early community members be rewarded compared to new participants? And so for this one, what we've tried to do is make sure that everyone who was with the project earlier, and for example, engaged with our early supporter NFT, those people have got some slightly preferential treatment, especially when it comes to a loyalty program. They've got some additional points in the Rails points, but equally, community members are the first to know about things like the allow list, and we'll continue to make sure that people in those groups are the first to know where appropriate. So there's additional alpha for the people that have supported us from the beginning. So we really appreciate the support that we've had up until now, and so we want to continue to do that. And we want to even go a little bit deeper than this as well. So using these early community members, we want to have some kind of discussions about how we can launch some ambassador programs and things to help us scale even further. So we think there's a load of ways that we will continue to kind of reward and over-index the rewards on our early supporters to thank you for what you've done to get us here. This question is customer support question. Oh, here's a good one. I think maybe you can give some fun context on why is it $100 minimum? Oh, you're muted somehow. I can't hear you. Still no. If you want, I can answer this one while you do some tech. Okay, well, while Marcus is working out his audio, I will answer this one. So, a lot of projects. Oh, are you back?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back. Can you hear me?
I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So to remind you, the question was, why is the raise? Why does it have $100 minimum on public?
Yeah, well, that's a number that we established, but we receive a lot of feedbacks from the community saying, "Oh, it's too high. Could it be 50?" And yeah, we're gonna change this. So bear in mind, we're gonna change to minimum 50. Again, guys, so we want you to be part of it. There's no restrictions to be 50, etc. We just put the cap now at 100K. I don't know if someone will buy 100K, not to avoid the problem that happened last week. Um, but yeah, we're gonna announce, and what happened is, if you are on the allow list, you have 24 hours to join. Tomorrow we will open to the rest. It will open to the market. So why is that? Because a lot of people from the community that were not on an out list asking to be allowed to buy the token. So we're gonna give 24 more hours to the allow list to join and be part of this. And then later tomorrow we'll be open to the rest.
Yeah. Okay. Great. And so we'll see how quickly we can update this. I think it should be pretty quick on the platform to change to $50. But we will post an update on the Republic platform as soon as that's live, and maybe share it in some other places as well. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. Another one for you. A question from Dina. Could you clarify more details about circulating supply on TGE day?
So we we've been very careful with this, not to be extremely over, not to be lower, of course. So from the private sale, we would expect around 1.5%, and then obviously there is the tokens that are sent to the exchange, additional 3%, 3 to 4. Then we have the market makers, which is around 1%. So when you add this up, um, we're talking about 10%. So we will see. Um, I believe we're going to stay between minimum 10% to 20. The ideal number in my mind, it would be around 15%. We've seen projects to the lower tens. We've seen projects to 20, 25. I think 20, 25 is too much. Um, so our ideal number is between 10 to 15, I would say. That's how we're building up. But more important, I think, we're engaging with some like funds that wants to buy long term. We will create, a campaign for the token holders to be rewarded, and we will launch it pre TGE. So if you hold your tokens, you gain points and you'll be receiving token boost, let's call it. So we will announce this soon. Yeah, and I think this is the number between 10 to 15% is our goal. Could be a little bit more, a little bit less. It will not be over 20, not under 10. So that's the range.
Okay, thank you. And another one for me, I think from Emmy, which is, are we getting any reward for participating in the Galaxy Quest? So there's no specific plan based on the Galaxy Quest. What we're using the Galaxy Quest for is to bring people into our loyalty program, because it's far easier for us to actually measure your interaction, and also in the future. This is attributing a lot better than Galaxy. So if you use Galaxy to bring you into our loyalty program, which uses platform Fuel, this is where we'll be using this for community rewards. So I encourage you to engage with that far more, because that gives you a better means for us to make sure we can push you to content for education purposes, push for on-chain activities at a later date, and is a far better tool for that. So hopefully, hopefully you've been engaging with the rewards program already, but if not, it's not too late to join. Okay, so these ones, I don't necessarily want to push everybody back to the documents, but it's a good excuse for us to make it clear that there's loads of documentation that we've shared in the Republic as part of the deal page. And a lot of these, if you want to go incredibly deep on, you should download the PPM, Regex doc, and things are around page 20 onwards is a section that includes this. But, so if you want to go really deep, that's where you go. On the right side of the deal page, those are the documents you download. But also for everybody here, we can talk about it now as well. So will there be any details on allocation limits or vesting schedules in the community session?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, right, for ourselves and our investors, the VCs that invested on us on these previous rounds, we have 10% cliff in one year after TG. So it's only 10%. As I said, most of the projects they do 20%, 25. We did 10%. To show the community that we're committed. That's the main important thing. So we're not here to kind of get the tokens and dump it to the market. We're here for a long run to really accrue value on the token. Then 25% on the second year, pro rata, then 30 on the third year, and then 35 on the fourth year. So we really push our token and our investors' token allocations for the long run. Um, then there is a portion of the tokens from the private sale that will be unlocked at TG, a portion that will be unlocked after TG, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. But this private sale that's open now, this tranche of 750K open at Republic now, unlocks 100% at TG. Okay, so just to make it clear, our goal is really to build a long run and hopefully accrue value into the token. So we wouldn't like to, a lot of tokens coming to the market altogether. So we're really smoothing this curve and putting this to the long run. And yeah, and again, remember, 50% of the tokens are stay with the foundations. It's going to be used for, grant programs. It's going to be used to for the community. Unlocks also in 4 years. So we are super, conservative, let's call it, in the way we will manage the treasury for the foundation, make sure that this reflects into building a top-notch product that reflects to building, to support the community, to support the developers and builders into the ecosystem. That's where we are now.
Mhm. And I think we've maybe answered this a little bit. Let's go a little bit deeper. Well, why did we choose 700K? But I think it was 750K. Um, yeah, maybe talk to that.
Yeah, well, the way we, it's funny that there's always magical numbers, right? No, because we, um, as I mentioned, we've sold on a bigger tickets with the same conditions to investors and hedge funds with a minimum ticket of 25,000. The first tranche was same thing, 750. It disappeared very fast. So we combined the numbers. Our goal is to raise up to 5 million. The private sale, the high net worth individuals, the private sale is going super well. Again, same conditions. Then Republic, as there are two tranches there. One for U.S. investors, which locks for 12 months, because U.S. investors is what they call Reg D. So if you're a U.S. investor, you are seeing a different tranche, same amount, and then if you're a non-U.S. investor, you are seeing the 750K. Both same conditions. The difference in terms of price discount, but in as U.S. By regulation, you have to hold the token for a year. So people that are buying uh, from US citizens will have a 1 year lock, different from non-US. And we'll see if there's enough demand. We believe there will be. We potentially could, do another one, but we're not sure. I think we're reaching our cap. But we'll see. If there's if the community is still demanding, if there's we want to, as I said, share this. We might create a new tranche. Um, and yeah, I think that's it. There's no magic here, everyone. I think we didn't establish, oh, we will sell 10%, 20%. We want to sell, uh, you know, what's enough for us to, fund to that we believe that people will be able to buy and get an upside. Um, and we hope that, for the ones that buy, there'll be a upside. We're not promising any returns, but based on what we're building, we're super excited with the future ahead. That's what I can say.
Thank you. And this, I don't have the exact wording for this one, but I definitely saw it earlier, which is asking about what's involved in the community and ecosystem allocation? I think people have seen that this is 50%, pretty large, and want to understand, what that includes. And again, as a reminder, you can check the docs, and the PPM Regs doc, page 20 onwards, I think, has got more info. But maybe you can talk broadly what that entails now as well.
Yeah. So what we want to do with the community, right? Having this up to 50%, we can create a clear, strong grant program for the builders. And so if you come to build on Rails, you'll be, we will reward you for building on Rails meaningful projects that will be used, that will create value for the community. Um, and that's, I think, is a given. We don't want these tokens to be held there without a purpose. We want to remunerate, to get people to really say, "Oh my God, I built this on Rails. I made a lot of money. I'm so happy to have spent time building." And I think this is a first principle, right? We want to share. If we're successful, I believe we will be. We want to share this with the community, 50%. How this will be distributed and used a long time. So out of this 50%, the foundation also has the locking mechanism. We have 10% that potential can is unlocked at TG, but we're not going to distribute tomorrow 10%. This will be used to a grants program. Will be used to really create hackathons, to invest into builders that are joining us. And we're very serious about this. I was we have this tokenization platform of real world assets. They have now $300 million in tokenized assets. They're tokenized into a chain. And they said, Marcos, we want to migrate to you because some of the primitives that you're building are very important for us. Privacy, for instance. So those guys, they approached us. We want to come and build on Rails. I said, great. And they have some feedbacks. I said, wow, we will reward you to come as well. We want you to be here, to be building on Rails and growing the ecosystem. So this is an example where I think will be very valuable. We've seen people approaching us and saying, hey, I want to be part of this. And for those that will be part of this, we will allocate tokens, and obviously there will be milestones to be reached. There will also be vesting mechanism, and also for the as Tom said, for the royalties program, for people that engage, that will be part of tests, that will be part of this, it will also be remunerated. We will also collect their tokens in the future based on the points they have. And I think this is part of the build-up of the community. We don't like to call it airdrop. I think, but it's a kind of helping to build part of the ecosystem. You have points and you collect the tokens allocated. Um, you know, and we're super happy. We're not sure how much will that be, but I think we'll share with the community as much as we can. Um, it all depends, guys. To be transparent, we're we're trying to do the best for the product itself, not even for us, the best for the protocol itself. So we're negotiating very hard with the exchange to have like a minimum token location. We're negotiating very hard with market makers. As I said, we are trying to do our best. Not to have a lot of tokens unlocked at TGE. So there's a lot of moving parts that we want to make sure, and we have studied all the other protocols, the ones that did successful, the ones that not so much, and we're trying to really do our best to make sure that our token accrues value along in a long time, that people that are part of it will make money, will be happy. And yeah, that's why we're being very careful. And rest assured, again, we want our community to leverage this tremendous success that we're going to have, bringing financial institutions on chain, bringing assets on chain. converting banks to tokenize assets and so on. And I think this will be fantastic for us in the long run.
Mhm. I think it's also important to note that this kind of 50% allocation gives us flexibility if the market changes to make sure that we're reacting. And also, if any of these protocols, for example, their loyalty programs or their incentive structures prove to not drive long-term growth, we can react and change ours with this kind of allocation.
Yeah, and just to be clear, there's a very important element as well, which we're adjusting to our tokenomics based on feedback from the community. Um, you know, we have the private networks in production paying fees already. It's around 70K per month. There's over $1 million of for a year, more than a year. There's over $1 million on $1.3 million of revenue already generated. 50% of this revenue will buy back tokens and burn. So, and that will help. To be very clear, that will help to keep the token prices stabilized. And we're not sure when it will be buyback, because we want to keep this treasury very well preserved, very well preserved. You know, we're doing real business on chain, and there's real money being already revenue generate. Sometimes I see protocols out there with high FDVs not generating any revenue, and I see, oh my God, is this a business? No, I don't know. What we're trying to do here is a real business for serious capital chain, and we're very happy. We're already generating revenues pre-TG. So, our community, please help to spread this word. I want to see which protocols are generating revenue pre-TG. I don't see many, to be frank. So we're revenue generating pre-TG. We'll make some announcements of big, a new big contract that we signed. This will increase our revenue. There are two big contracts we're signing, which will increase our revenue, and this 50% of the revenue will be used to pay the validators of the public chain. 50% will be held to buy back tokens when needed, to keep the price stabilization, and this is very powerful for our token price long term. So I would expect this to help us to keep growing the token on the long run. So it's a very I would say powerful tool for is a combination of deflationary and also helping us um, to maintain stability on the price to the downside. Because if people decide to sell, they sell. But people that will hold the token will see so much value when those buybacks happen. Um, is a very strong message. As I said, we're committed for the long run. We're bringing real business on chain, and we want to, this to help, as I said, to accrue value on the token long run. And people here, you guys that are part of it, will see a huge value.
Mm-hmm. So I finished the main questions that I selected before we started, but I want to cherry pick one or two from the chat just so we get a bit more done. And then, so everyone's clear, we will scrape all of the replies and questions and come back with an FAQ. So even if we don't get to you, we will get to you. I'm picking this one because it's a useful one to re-explain a point. So let me push this one up here. So this is a good question because we don't know whether this is a US or a non-US user. But the question from John is, I've already purchased. When will my tokens be transferred to my wallet?
Yeah, we would expect this to be transferred pre-TG, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't. There's a process in which once the private sale finishes at Republic, they ask for like 2 weeks for reconciliations for adjustments. So once that finish and pre-TG, you will receive your tokens automatically into your wallets.
And if you're a US user, then it would be 1 year from TG.
1 year from TG.
Okay, there were some other ones which I Oh, someone here. This person asked another question. Is the sale ended? I think it's important to note that there are different stages of the sale. So For now, we're in the allow list sale. If you can't see anything, that's because you're not on the allow list. In around, well, tomorrow we're going to open it up so that people not on the allow list can take part in the sale. So, and also, as we mentioned earlier, around the minimum, we plan to remove this minimum, remove it down to $50 as well. So let's see how quickly we can do that. But you've kind of got another 24-ish hours on the allow list, and then otherwise it's open up, and so we. Okay. Recent facts. No. Is there anything that's interesting here? Is there anything US? No, we've answered that. Okay, well, in which case, maybe we just I can't really struggle through all of these things. When TG and token limit release, all Discord early user get allocation. So I think what we'll have to do is we'll have to share some of the most important parts from the documents that we've shared. So a lot of work has gone into these Republic docs. I think they're very long, so maybe a lot of you haven't got to the interesting bits. So I'll talk to the team afterwards and make sure that we are putting this content into the Discord, into the community in a way that you can absorb it quickly. So after this, we'll collect all the questions and we'll come back with some documents this week. But I think we'll let Marcus get back to his time in Madrid. And yeah, anything to say to the community while you're here?
Yeah, guys, thank you once again. We're here to, I think this catch up with you, all of you, is important to clarify our view, our message, to be transparent to what we're building, what we're doing, to really build this together. If we think we're wrong, let us know. But we're trying to do our best and to be right. So. To mistakes they're also committed, but we are here to fix them if we committed some. People, is the human nature. I think the beauty in life is that whenever you commit a mistake, you recognize it, fix it, and move on. But we're trying to do our best, not to commit many mistakes. But again, as I said, this is part of human life. For instance, this we didn't set up a limit on the private sales. Someone went there, allocated 700,000, and oh my God, let's fix this. That's why we are here for. But more important, I think, as I mentioned, we're managed to bring big clients on chain. This generates revenue. This, in the long run, will accrue value to the protocol, will allow us to build a strong community, will allow us to be very innovative into what we're building. We have some like very nice announcements. We've been working with the large AMM in the space to embed our Rails Enigma privacy preserving protocol into the AMM, and this is a mind blowing. It's something no one is doing, and we will announce it soon. So on the tech part, we're very focused to build a top notch product. On the tech part that fits to the requirements of those financial institutions, banks, and people that really want to use the protocol. And I think this is where we are. And yeah, guys, join us into this journey. The Rails train locomotive is moving fast. Is a fast speed train. And the next station is TG. So there will be many stations going forward. You know what? It was funny because uh, when we were discussing the name of Rails, we did this analogy to the traditional, train rails, and it was perfect because for those that don't know, some of our, product versions are called name of stations around the world. And so we will maybe launch a campaign to say what's the station that this new version will be called, and people from the community can contribute. This is so funny. Uh, but I think the most important station that we're gonna go now is the TG station, which is an important milestone for any protocol. And again, from to get when we started building 2.5 years ago Rails, and with the initial focus on the private network, and with this ecosystem, we always thought, and the vision we had was financial markets will migrate everything on chain. And people were skeptical back there because there's lack of clarity, regulation, banks were not touching, etc. Now that things are really moving on chain, people, oh my God, this. But we had this vision a few years ago, and our strategy has not changed. Our vision has not changed, and and I think this is where we want to go further. But next, as I said, next station is TG station. Join us on this ride. It's gonna be super fun, guys.
Thank you, Marcus. And also to note, I don't think we mentioned earlier that we're currently trending on Republic. So this means when we do open up the sale and beyond the allow list, we expect to get some good traction. So make the most of the 24 hours you've got left until those people join so that we can fill up that tranche. And thank you for your support up until now. So thank you so much. And Marcus is going to be back on another AMA tomorrow. We'll announce that just after this one. So if you miss him, you don't have long to wait till the next